Have you ever fallen for someone completely wrong for you and couldn't stop? Welcome back to Watch List, the channel that brings you every kind of movie, from hidden gems to films nobody's brave enough to talk about. Today we are counting down 5 older woman younger man romances that broke every rule in the book. Smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because you do not want to miss where this list ends. Let's get into it. Number 5. Why is nobody talking about the movie that basically invented the modern cougar romance? How Stella Got Her Groove Back drops us into the life of Stella, a 40-something San Francisco stockbroker who is everything except a life. She's got the money, the house, the career, but zero joy. Her best friend Delilah can see it eating her alive, so she does the only sensible thing: she drags Stella on a first-class trip to Jamaica. And that's where everything changes. Because on a beach in paradise, Stella locks eyes with a 20-year-old named Winston, 20 years younger. And what starts as one wild vacation fling turns into something Stella never expected to feel again. But back home in San Francisco, her sisters are horrified, her son is confused, and her career is hanging by a thread. Can a fling built on a beach survive real life thousands of miles away? Stella has to decide if she's willing to blow up everything she built for a chance at feeling alive again. And what happens next completely divided audiences in 1998. Some called it empowering, some called it reckless. We'll let you be the judge. But stick around, because the next entry on this list takes the age gap even further, and involves a psychiatrist mother finding out who her son is actually dating. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss. Number 4. I beg you to stop scrolling, because this one has a twist that still catches people off guard 20 years later. Prime follows Raffi, 37 years old, freshly divorced, and completely lost. She starts seeing a therapist named Lisa to work through the wreckage of her marriage. And then Raffi falls hard for someone new, David, 23, an artist with zero baggage and zero filter. It's fun, it's exciting, it's exactly what Raffi needed. She tells her therapist everything, every detail, every late night, every doubt. But here's where it gets messy. Because Lisa, the therapist listening to all of this, slowly starts to realize something horrifying. The 23-year-old artist her patient is falling in love with is her own son. Now Lisa is stuck in an impossible position, sitting across from Raffi every single week, pretending she doesn't know, while watching her patient fall deeper for her child. Does she tell Raffi the truth and blow up the relationship? Does she stay silent and let it play out? Every session becomes more unbearable than the last. This one turns an age gap romance into a full-blown ethical nightmare, and it's exactly the kind of chaos we live for on this channel. If you're new here, this is your sign to subscribe, because number 3 on this list is even messier than this. Let's keep going. Number 3. Why is nobody talking about the movie that dared 1990 audiences to root for a couple everyone told them to hate? White Palace introduces us to Max, a successful young advertising executive still grieving the sudden death of his wife. He's polished, he's wealthy, he's completely closed off. Then one random night, he walks into a rundown burger joint to complain about a bad order, and he meets Nora. Nora is loud, she's rough around the edges, she works behind a counter, and she is at least a decade older than Maximum. On paper, they have absolutely nothing in common. But that night turns into something neither of them planned, and suddenly Max can't stay away. The problem is everyone in Max's life, his friends, his social circle, his entire world, looks at Nora and sees someone who doesn't belong. Someone beneath him. And Nora knows exactly what they think of her every time she walks into a room. So this becomes less about the age gap and more about class, pride, and whether love can survive people constantly telling you it shouldn't exist. Does Max choose the woman who makes him feel alive, or the world that expects him to walk away? The ending genuinely splits audiences even today. And trust me, number 2 on this list has an even more brutal power imbalance. Hit subscribe now so you catch it. Number 2. Here's how you accidentally fall in love with your girlfriend's mother in one weekend. Harry is 63, he's never settled down, and his current girlfriend Murren is 30 years younger than him. They head to her family's Hamptons beach house for a romantic getaway, except Murren's mother, Erica, is already there. Erica is sharp, successful, and instantly unimpressed by Harry. The tension is immediate. Then Harry has a heart attack right there in the house, and suddenly he's stuck recovering under Erica's roof for weeks. What starts as pure irritation between them slowly turns into something neither one expected. But there's a complication neither of them saw coming. Erica's much younger doctor, Julian, becomes completely infatuated with her, showing up constantly, making his feelings obvious. So now Erica is caught in the middle of 2 men from 2 completely different generations, one her own age finally being honest with her, and one decades younger convinced is exactly what she needs. Who does she actually choose? The successful older man learning to grow up, or the younger man offering her something entirely different? This one completely flips the typical age gap dynamic on its head, and the ending still gets debated online today. Before we get to number 1, the biggest age gap on this entire list, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Number 1. I waited for the perfect woman my entire adult life, and when I finally got her, I still wasn't happy, so I turned to someone completely unexpected. That's John's entire story in Don John. John is confident, he's charming, and he can get any woman he wants, but he's secretly addicted to pornography, and no real woman ever measures up. Then he meets Barbara, exactly the woman his friends think he should marry. But their relationship is built on image, not honesty, and John keeps hiding who he really is. Everything changes when he's caught watching porn on his phone in a night class by a woman named Esther. Esther is older, she's quiet, she's clearly carrying some kind of grief nobody talks about. And unlike Barbara, Esther doesn't care about appearances at all. She actually sees John, flaws, and all, and slowly starts pulling honesty out of him that no one else ever could. As their unlikely friendship deepens into something more, John has to face an uncomfortable truth about what he actually wants. Does he keep chasing the fantasy version of love, or does he choose the messy, real, older woman who finally makes him feel something genuine? This is why Don John takes the #1 spot on this list. It completely redefines what this whole genre is about.